back to the channel. Now, this video is very important because I know many of you may not understand technical analysis, fundamental data, or how to actually employ a strategy that will ensure that you're profitable long term. Make sure you watch this video till the end because this could change or transform the way you trade, the way you invest, and the way you could become profitable with OMI long term. Now, I did a video yesterday updating on price, and of course we haven't seen much movement. We're still above the 61.8, and until we see significant price movement, there's not much to update in that sense. Now, before you think about buying any more OMI, you need to ask yourselves a few questions. And before I get into that, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, turn the bell notification on so you can stay up to date on all my recent videos. Remember, guys, nothing that you see in this video is financial advice. So always make sure to do your own research. And with that being said, make sure to click the link in my description, join that Telegram group. So pause the video, join the Telegram group so you can stay up to date on all our recent news updates, technical analysis, and much more. Do that right now. Or of course, if you want those juicy entries and exits under the radar cryptocurrency gems, make sure you pause the video and sign up to the link in my description and join our Crypto Crew premium channel. And guys, we've actually recently launched our Crypto Crew classes. So this is actually, you can learn to trade like a professional. Now, with that being said, let's get into the video. So we have three criterias now, a few criterias. Number one, where did you buy? This is the first thing to identify before you think about buying any more OMI, right? If you bought, let's say where we're going to use our example, let's say you bought when we did, you're still going to be up quite a significant amount, right? So let's just say you bought when we did, which is around here, you're still going to be up 138%, right? Now, fair enough, we did have some added positions around this area, but we ensured that our added positions will not outweigh our profits. This is number one. You never want to, for example, let's say you've got a nice entry at this area, really nice entry, and you're up and a decent amount of profits. You never want to add, all your profits or everything that you have at this level, because it will basically cancel out the gains here, right? So, and this is just us particularly, we like to ensure that our profits are secure, right? So even if prices pull back as it's doing now, it will not cancel out our profits made. So if you entered here, fair enough. We personally have our added positions at this level, which is fine, but we have stopped buying now. Why? Because we are now waiting for price to either create all-time highs and repeat that pullback cycle again, and then we can buy at a low, but it has to break this all-time high now, or price will move all the way back to our entry. So those are our two scenarios where we buy. We buy when price goes back to our entry. So of course, gives us a chance of buying at a cheaper price, a really cheaper price. And of course, because we believe in this long term, that's the important factor here, because we believe in this long term, it's not something that we are too concerned about. Right now, of course, if price does break an all-time high and then obviously retest, then we can look to maybe dollar cost average. So this is buying OMI over time. But of course, we want to do that on a pullback. Now, that's out of the way. So that's if you bought it. So you saw our first video and you decided to, enter when we did. That's great. That's a strategy that you could implement. Now, of course, I know some of you have bought at all-time highs, right? Now, this is where a lot of people will, I understand why some of you may actually be quite concerned, because in your mind, you probably put a lot of money in it, maybe money that you cannot afford or money that you potentially weren't expecting to have locked up for quite a large amount of time, right? Now, of course, if that is the case, I mean, you have a few options. I don't have time to get into them all in this video, but what I would say is I would first ask myself, do I believe in this project long term? If the answer is no, then you have to ask yourself, if you don't believe in this project long term, why would you put such a large amount in at an all-time high? Were you expecting that rocket ship to the moon? Or, you're just going to have to sit tight. You're going to have to be patient. But if I bought at this all-time high, would I be still buying? Yes, I would. I would do one more entry around this area here, and that's it. I wouldn't do any more entries, especially as we're up against the 61.8. I would not do any more entries, right? I would literally just have this entry and maybe this entry, or if I didn't think that price was going to bounce and I think it's going to go lower, I'd wait for price to go around again the entry point that we entered at, and then that's when I would look for a decent sized entry as well. So those are my two alternatives. So we have here, and of course back at the entry. So all is, going back there. Now, of course, if I didn't own any OMI, this is a dream come true in my opinion. Why? Because it allows me, fair enough, I might not get an entry at, where we originally entered, but it gives me an entry to middle ground, right? You're not buying at all-time high, you're not buying at the lows, but you're buying in the middle. Of course, you're buying in the middle, which means you could potentially take advantage of that growth now, right? So let me just put an arrow there. And that's what we're waiting for now, guys. Just so you're clear, we're waiting now for a bounce. And this is why I say, guys, you have to understand the timeline. You have to understand what you're doing. And I wouldn't try to look too deeply into some of the OMI news, the ECOMI news that you hear, because it may not reflect on the price. For example, this founders token vesting and unlock. So I'm actually going to link this below just so that you guys can, have a read through this. They're actually, as you're aware, the founders token allocation is due to unlock quarterly beginning in May 2021. So that's this month. These tokens were voluntarily vested in accordance with our company white paper, which they were. And of course, you can go through all of this. But the question now is, guys, will that affect price? We're going to have to wait and see. But like I said, I do expect a bullish month for May. Bullish month for May. But either way, this is, I have to stress the point, a long-term project. Of course, we're up over 138%, 130% so far, which is great. But, 10,000% is going to feel a lot better. 5,000% is going to feel a lot better. So, yeah, this is now what we're waiting for price to rally. But these are the strategies, or these are the buyings that I personally would be looking for at this area. And I'm going to make another video on some of the strategic plays that we did, where we actually offset some of our NFT projects and actually reallocated them to OMI. I'm going to get into some of that stuff. I'm going to get into a lot more. It's going to be an incredible month. I can reassure you about that. So what I need you guys to do is, number one, make sure you've actually liked this video. Make sure you're subscribed. Very important, especially if you see value in this. Make sure you're sending this to your friends, right? We want to get this message out to the community. We want to help as many people as possible. And I'm sure you guys want to hear, more people talking about OMI. So make sure you share this video. Also, if you haven't yet joined that Telegram group, please make sure you do that, because you're going to get the heads up over everybody else. And that's across many different cryptocurrencies. And last but not least, check out some of our services, our Crypto Crew Premium and our Crypto Crew classes, limited spaces for our one-to-ones so far for the month. Anyway, with that being said, seize the day.